साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरुवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ मौनं व्याख्यातकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वरिष्ठान्ते वसदकृषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितनित्यन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं सात्माराममृतवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिं निधे। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तां येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुः सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भं शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुं परम्परां। वन्दे दयानन्द सरस्वत्यै नमः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। I think all of us should join and do this first one together.
Yes.
Every class. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Last week we talked about this particular stanza. This stanza was the salutations to Guru by Adi Shankaracharya. And the salutations, he was using not only the name of his Guru, Govindapada, but also a synonym of his Guru's name, Govinda. Govindam means Gukaraha Andhakaraha. So Gu stands for Andhakara. Vindam means he takes Andhakara away. So it's like lighting a candle in front of the Lord in the temple. So when we light a candle in front of the God, we put a diya, and the diya is supposed to signify illumination and light, and it drives darkness away, so we get to see. Last week we were talking about Chaturvidha Phalas, Kama, Krodha, Dvesha, Ahankara, and Moksha. Dvesha and Ahankara are together. Kama, Krodha, Dvesha, Moksha. We are all so tempted by the first three. We love that. We love Kama. And we like to get angry. The first chance we get angry. We are driving, some fellow goes faster than us in a car besides us, we get very angry. Oh my God. What is he doing? He must be a 16-year-old new school kid driving the car. We go someplace and someone doesn't want to finish off his change or give him the change, and they're having too much time and you're standing behind there trying to get your cup of coffee, and you get very angry because the fellow is doing that. So anger is something which comes Shadika Matra. In 1 second you get angry, and whether it's right or wrong, that's irrelevant. Still get angry. And then you get Kama. Kama is love. Love, desire. It can be seen in so many different fashions. And that again is something which we cannot stay away from. Whether we like it or not, we are dragged into it. We are dragged into it by someone else, and we say, oh my God, what happened? You see, when my grandfather and grandmother got married, it was very nice for them. And even when my father-in-law and my mother-in-law got married, it was extremely nice. Because both of them were so small that they didn't know what they were getting into. Okay? And in India we have got what is called playing with dolls and make bommala pelli. In Telugu they call it bommala pelli. How many Telugu? You are not Telugu.
I understand Telugu.
You understand Telugu. You are Telugu. पुतलियों का शादी हिंदी पुतली रहती ना, ये पुतली लेके वो पुतली लेके शादी. Or in America they don't have that. They have got a different thing. They play house. And playing the house is a completely different story altogether. When I was young, I was in Bombay and I used to play house with some American kids. And they very nicely made me the butler in the house. Because I am not white, I am black, so I got to be butler. So I was a butler. So the game used to go this way. The boy was one of the boys there, and the girl was one of the girls there, and the boy used to say, I'm going to go to work, honey. And honey says, okay dear. And he goes out of the apartment, and they close the door. And this is when Caltex, Standard Oil, Mobil Oil people were in India, in a small high-rise apartment building called Vasundhara on Warden Road in Bombay. And he used to go out. Within 2 minutes, he used to come out and he tick, 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 tick. And as soon as he did that, the girl used to say, butler, take care of the door. And then I used to go and open the door. And he used to come in. And he said, hi honey, and give her a big hug and give her a smack on the mouth. And I said, what's going on here? And then I used to close the door, come and sit. Even within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, he used to have to go to work again. He used to go to work. Again, I used to open the door. It used to go. That's their playing house. So each country has their own different ways of playing things. In India, we play our house bommala pelli and putli amka. And so when you see all these things and you see all these things, it becomes very difficult to understand what is going on in this world, whether anything is of any sense or not. And one of the questions, Viveka Chudamani, is a prakarana grantha, and I was asked about what a grantha meant. And a grantha is a book for studies, a book to comprehend, a book to illustrate various things. And the prakarana grantha is not necessarily anything to do with Shruti or Smriti. Shruti and Smriti are two different entities by themselves. So today there's a new thing I'm adding for the people who were there in the last class. When you say Shruti means which is or was heard. Shrunu means to hear. And Shruti is that which is heard. And in the olden days, when we had our Arsha Vidya, it's called Arsha Vidya. Arsha means rishis, Vidya is that which they gave us as knowledge. And that knowledge, Arsha Vidya, and Dayananda Saraswati's ashram in Sailasvara was called Arsha Vidya ashram. And I used to go there. That's where I learned my tutelage from him. And Srutam means the object of hearing. What did they hear? And it is said that Vedas were given by voice, by Brahma, to select rishis. And those rishis took that thing and they said, this is a revelation which we have heard and we have to protect it. In those times we never had a grantha, a book to write it. And so it was orally given from person to person. So it came. So the Chatur Vedas, the 4 Vedas, and there's a 5th Veda which was added on at a later date. And all of them were given by word of mouth. So recitation of our old Vedas and others became a very important standard. And once they were all given to them, and once we had the opportunity to write, and we had a Thalapatra, and they started writing, and when they started writing, it became written Vedas were there for other people to see. Then there is a second set of things, and the Vedas are Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and other one Veda. And they are Shabda Pramanam, that's what they call it. Shabda Pramanam means it is a verbal testimony. The verbal testimony from all the rishis to us. Then we come to the next classification, which is called Smriti or Smriti. Smriti or Smriti is that which you heard. Someone hears the things from the Vedas, they listen to it and they think about it and they say, oh my God, I got to put all these things for the common man to understand. In order for the common man to understand, I got to write them into a book or something. And they are the 108 Upanishads which came out of that. And there was one person who wrote the Brahma Sutras. That's again when you see, these are all Smritis. Smritis is that which we learn from someone verbally or Vedas, and then they change it. They utilize the Vedas and they try to interpret, elaborate, and save everything. In Veda, if they say just aham brahmosmi and leave it. What is aham brahmosmi? Someone has elaborated, and then they elaborated it, they made it. That is Smriti, and those Smritis, there are quite a good number of them. Brahma Sutras are there, Upanishads are there, Bhagavad Gita is there, Kalpa Sutra is there, Myths, legends, Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Manusmriti, a whole bunch of them. But the big ones which most of the people usually talk about is Brahma Sutras with a big B, and Upanishads, which is with a big U, and the Gita, which is with a big G. And all the three put together bug. So that bugs people. Okay? There are not too many people who get bugged by them. Because they are bugged by the other ones. Kama, Krodha, Moha. And so they have got that bug. That bug is for everyone. We never get out of that bug. But this is the other bug. And you're all here because you all have the bug. So this is a good bug to have. Because it's trying to learn something. And now when we go and then see in Viveka Chudamani, what is it we're going to learn? And we're going to learn Siksha Lakshana, who is a qualified student. Then we learn about Guru Lakshana, who is a competent teacher. Then Guru Upadesa, which is Bahya, Bhakti, fear and near. Fear is always near us. Even if you drive it away, it comes back. In various different forms. And in Upanishads, there are Mahavakyas. And those Mahavakyas they tell volumes. But there is one little small word. Tattvamasi is one of them. Who am I? That you are. In Upanishads, it is explained as that you are, Tattvamasi, that you are. And Ramana Maharshi says, find out who you are. Who am I? And it's the same thing. But he put it in a very simple form. And the Tattvamasi is the Mahavakya there. The second important thing which is taught in Viveka Chudamani is Sravanam, which is to listen. It is trying to mimic the Vedic knowledge which was heard from some place. And that hearing becomes a very important thing. Sravanam. Then we have got Mananam. Mananam is to understand what you heard. It is very difficult when someone like me telling you everything and I might miss a few things and other things. Then the Mananam comes, and Mananam, you try to churn the thing. A classic example of it is the fantastic thing which happened in Vrindavan. Everyone used to say, oh, Vrindavan, oh, all those gopikas, that Krishna used to go and take all the churning butter off the top of the milk and he used to drink it and other things. And it is, the significance of that is churning the milk is like churning our thought process. And when we churn our thought process, we get to the resulting outcome is going to be knowledge. And when that knowledge is properly understood, it is equivalent to having lovely butter. In Vrindavan, you take the butter and it flies. Have you ever seen that? Beautiful, very, 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 very light butter. And the third one is Niridhyasana. And when you come to Niridhyasana, you are trying to do what I am trying to do right now. So for me, all of you are actually members who are creating a place where I could do my Niridhyasana. When you do the Mananam, you get lot of ideas, you get different ideas, you get very good ideas, and then unless you tell someone, they won't stay with you. They just disappear. That is the unfortunate thing about mind. And then we are going to Saksha Sakshatkara sadhana. Sakshatkara sadhana is manifesting in front of you. And that kind of a sadhana you can only do one way. And I'll give some examples of it in a minute. Jivan Mukta sadhana. Jivan Mukta is living in this life, still get mukti. Because if we turn around and say there are so many people who have got mukti and other things, simple example. Bhagavan Sri Krishna was right in the middle of that huge big war, Mahabharatha war. And he decided he is going to stop time. He can do it. No one else can do it. We can do it. He said, I'm going to stop time. So he jumped off the chariot, got down onto the battlefield, and he said, stop time. And he stopped time. Meanwhile, Arjuna was crying his heart off, saying, oh my God, what am I going to do? There are all those people standing there, they're all my kith and kin, and now I'm going to fight them and I'm going to kill them. Really? First question. Secondly, till Arjuna told Krishna in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, I am taking complete surrender to you and I am going to be your Sishya. Please help me. And then the next thing comes Bhagavan Vacha. Krishna started telling Bhagavad Gita. So, as much as for doing this, I'm calling all of you to come, you have a pretty good right to say, you are not my guru. You don't know anything what you're talking. So, I don't want you. I want someone else. You can go. So, the Guru Sishya Parampara works only on the basis that there is a mutual understanding of Guru and Sishya. And in that place, that mutual understanding was there. Okay, this phenomenal Gita. How many people heard that Gita? All the armies, all the people who were standing there. In the whole battlefield, there was only one person who heard the Gita, and that was Bhishma. He was the only one who was alert, following every word Krishna was saying. And some people luck out. Those people luck out so well that people won't even recognize that they heard Gita. One is Sanjaya, because he was translating everything which was happening there to that good old blind man and his wife. Those three. So really, who heard Bhagavad Gita? Taking Krishna away. He must have heard what he was saying, hopefully. There's only 5 people heard, rest of the people didn't hear. So one of the things which happens here is you have to be selected by a person in order to get to the stage of understanding the Bhagavan, understanding the knowledge, understanding Viveka Chudamani. So that's what the second stanza of it says. Jantuna narajanma durlabhatah pulsvam tato viprata tasmad vaidik dharma marga parata vidvatva masmat param, atma natma vivechanam, swanubhavo brahmatmana santatihi, muktirno satakoti janma sukritaihi, punyair nalabhyate. So very quickly I'm going through these things. Because last time we took about 1.5 hours to talk about this thing. I will try to go quickly and get to that place. Here, Satakoti Janma. Satakoti means 100 crores. He says you have to take 100 crores Janmas. Janma is a birth. So many births you have to take and be nice and get lot of punya. Because you can live one life and not get any punya. You can go away, walk away with empty basket. No mangoes. But you can be someone who goes regularly to the temple and then regularly do all the things and regularly do Lalita Sahasranamam, Vishnu Sahasranamam and everything. And they also get some punya. When everyone says, oh, okay, you just do Vishnu Sahasranamam once, and then you will get punya, so much punya, you would not know. So a big basket full of punya we are going to get if you do Vishnu Sahasranamam once. And in Vishnu Sahasranamam, Bhagavan Vacha, what did he say? Sri Rama Rama Rame Tirame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattuyam Rama Nama Varaname. The meaning being that Sahasranamas, all the 100 names of that in Vishnu Sahasranama is equivalent to one Rama. So I am the tricky guy. Don't roll it for me, right? That's why I say Rama, 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 Rama 10 times and they say, hey, I done 100,000. I'll take 10,000. And so that's a very interesting kind of a thing. In the same way, Lalita Sahasranama. A lot of people do Lalita Sahasranama. They do such a big Lalita Sahasranama. There is a group who do Lalita Sahasranama. In Lalita Sahasranama it says, Ganga Bhavani Gayatri Kali Lakshmi Saraswati Raja Rajeshwari Bala Syamala Lalita Dasha. Finished. You got the punya of reciting Lalita Sahasranama once. That is the next stanza, if someone reads, then they will immediately understand that all I have to do is Ganga Bhavani Gayatri Kali Lakshmi Saraswati Raja Rajeshwari Bala Shamala Lalita Dasha. Instead, sit there and then go. Srimata Srimeshwari Shatinga Gunta Sambhuta Devakari Samujata Udyadbhana Sahasrava Chaturbhav Samanvita Ragaswaru Pacharya Kola Kara Kulyokura Manorupesha Kolanda Satyadarnata Tarika. Where am I going?
Yes, yes.
Doesn't take you anywhere. Okay? That's a big problem for us. We're going to go through those things now. In a minute. And then here he says, Narajanma Durlabhamataha. Narajanma is human birth. He says that is Durlabham. It's unusual that you get Narajanma. In what he says, Jantuna. Can anyone tell me how many species are there in this world?
Millions.
Specifically, scientifically. Oh my God, I'm so happy here. Do you know why I'm so happy? Because I don't have anyone here. Because I go and say the same thing to one of my people, immediately they think, 1 minute. Oh, and we will say, that many. Here no one is doing it. That's a fantastic thing. I feel very good. Because I know Vishnu Sahasranamam is there in this one.
Yeah.
So is the Lalita in all different forms. MS Subhalakshmi Lalita Sahasranamam, then ML Vasanta Kumari Lalita Sahasranamam and Ghantashala Lalita Sahasranamam. Now that other guy, who is that? Bala Subramanyam? Balu.
Bombay sisters.
Bombay sisters. Allah, everyone. So you get everyone coming and doing Sahasranamam. So it all comes down to the same kind of a thing. So it becomes very difficult. So there are actually 8,400,000 species, known species. I call it known species. Because one of the funny things is, one of the days I was talking in one of the places, I said, is Earth a living thing? And the people who were there said, no. Can we take a vote here? Living Earth?
Yes.
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 At least, see, you're all knowledgeable. I don't have to be go. Because there, no one was saying Earth is a living thing, so I had to tell them. See, in Earth there is all this lava coming and it comes out and then Hawaii is formed. And so there's so many living creatures. In all those living creatures, it says, being born as a human being is a great thing. In that thing, even having been born as a human being, being with a mindset which is of a Purusha. Purusha means nowadays mindset is equal for both Purusha and ladies. Because all the ladies are going to gyms and they're doing exercise and other things, and they do what our Indian champion is supposed to be world champion in boxing and also in wrestling. There's a lady who has become a top wrestler in India. And so this Pumswa doesn't mean anything. And then it says Viprata. Viprata is said a Brahmin. Okay? And a Brahmin, who is a Brahmin? Is a question which we get. And normally my guru, the day I sat with him and he went through these things with me, he says, who is a Brahmin? And I said, a Brahmin, Swamiji, is someone. And I was just not saying anything because I knew that anything I said would be wrong. And he kind of laughed and said, you are just trying to avoid the answer, aren't you? I said, yes, Swamiji, I'm trying to avoid the answer. He says, Brahma Jnana Jignasa, whoever has it, Brahma Jnana Jignasa, a desire, a deep desire in them to understand what Brahma Jnana is. He is a Brahman. So every one of you who are sitting here are Brahmins. It is not a caste, it is not by birth. By birth, there are so many people who are doing all kinds of things which are worse than the dawn of Bombay. They do all kinds of things. So, Brahmana. Then he says, thus Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata, someone who is very much interested to get the understanding of the scriptural things which have set forth for a human being. And that's what the second verse had said. And in the second word, I was trying to tell people that a lot of people think that in say for example, the Pancha Pandavas. What happened to Pancha Pandavas? Take Partha. Partha is supposed to be the greatest guy. So for him, Lord Krishna himself taught him Gita. And after having learned the Gita from Krishna, you would have expected him to get moksha. No. He did not get moksha. And even when they went up, they were unfortunate that they had to go through the hell, I believe. They just had to see the hell, just to get a sense of hell before they went off. Whereas Duryodhana, what happened to Duryodhana? He went directly to heaven because he died in a battlefield. And because it is a battlefield, he gets Vera Swargam. So he went directly to the Swargam and he stayed there. And so we don't know how we are being evaluated by anyone. It's a very difficult thing for us to understand how we are going to be evaluated. What do I have to do to get this thing, whatever this thing called moksha? But we have been talking all about the first three things, kama, krodha, moha. And we have not talked about moksha at all. So Viveka Chudamani, he tells us you got to do certain things to get moksha. So that's a very important thing. And then next, which is the third verse which we saw, is the verse which says, Durlabham trayame vaita devanugraha hetutam. There are three things which, unless there is godly providence or godly input, or he tells you to do, you are not going to do three things. Daivanugraham. You got to have the anugraham of the God. And those three things are Manushatvam, which is to be born as a human being. And the second thing is Mumukshatvam, that is to get moksha, to be someone who is deserving moksha. That means he is deserving to go to heaven, deserving to go and join into the God. And Mahapurusha Samsrayaha. Mahapurusha Samsrayaha is a very interesting thing. For me, my Mahapurusha Samsraya, which is Dayananda Saraswati, was a very accidental meeting. I went to Pokhara Mountains. I had a huge project which I was doing there, and I went to Rajarajeshwari Ashramam. Rajarajeshwari Ashramam is the ashramam of one of the ashramams of Adi Shankaracharya. There's one in Pokhara Mountains. I went to that ashramam and I went up and I parked my car, went in, and there was a Rajarajeshwari thing there. And I am a Devi Bhakta, I pray to Lalita. And then when I went there was an American lady sitting there and doing Lalita Sahasranam. I saw her and I said, oh, okay. It doesn't matter who it is, it's a human being. She said, okay, you come take prasad. She gave me prasad and others. No one else was there. And there was one old gentleman sitting there. I went to him and I said, what are you doing here? He says, I play Vichitra Veena. Vichitra Veena is a veena played by Ravana. And I said, oh my God. I ended up with this Ravana here. Vichitra Veena. So I said, I was curious. I said, will you play for me Vichitra Veena? I want to hear. And he says, I'm not paying now for you, but what you can do is, if you come back again in the evening at 6 o'clock, I have to go to a place here, another ashram which is there, and I'm going to play Vichitra Veena there. You take me in your car, and I will play there, you can listen to me, and then when I come back, you can drop me here and go back. And I said, okay, whatever it is. And so I went there, I picked him up, and he took me to the ashram, which is called Arshavidya Ashram. And when I went to Arshavidya Ashram also, I did not have any idea of Dayananda Saraswati or Viveka Chudamani or any of the scriptures, Veda, Vedanta. I was making money and big boss, hitting engineers in the back, getting projects done, all kama, krodha, moha. That's it. And so I went there, saw him play Vichitra Veena. After Vichitra Veena was over, Subramanyam sang. That is Ravi Shankar's wife. She was also in the ashram that day. She sang some songs. And then I sat with the rest of the people. Then Swamiji talked. I sat there, I heard him talk. And I was drawn to him. So that is Daivanugraham. If Daivanugraham is there, you will be drawn to it. if Dayananugraham is not there, I should have said, okay, I heard the Vichitra Veena, come on sir, போலாம் எடுத்து போட்டு காரில் போட்டு அவரை உட்கார வச்சுட்டு நேராக போயிட்டு ஒரு பாருக்கு போயிட்டு அங்கே 2 பீரை எடுத்து அவர் ஒரு பீரு நான் ஒரு பீரு சாயந்தரம் நான் நல்ல வீட்டுக்கு போயிட்டு தூங்கலாம். You understand that? I thought so. And she understands. He understands. It's a good one. She doesn't understand. All I was saying is.
That's fine. I could get the gist of it.
The gist of it is this. I said that.
Even I don't understand, I got the gist. You are accompanying me.
His Amma understands.
His Amma understands.
Yes.
So basically what I was saying is that it is easier for me to have gone out to a bar and had beer with him and then gone somewhere else. But I got drawn to Swamiji. Then from that time onwards, for the next 3 months or 4 months, I was even skipping my job and going there and listening to all the courses which he was giving and other things. And one day one of the guys came and said, Swamiji wants to see you. I said, oh my God, what is he going to do? So I went and saw the Swamiji. And he said, I'm coming to your house. I said, you're coming to my house? I said, I have my house in Wisconsin. I don't live here. And he says, no, I will come to your house in Wisconsin. So he came to my house. And he stayed 3 days there. And he gave us lectures there for 3 days. And he took a liking to me. And then he kind of, he didn't take a course on Viveka Chudamani. He had a special course for me and the singer Maharajapuram Santana. We both went and had private lessons from him on this. And so at that time, as after I finished the whole thing, he said, promise me, give me Guru Dakshina. Ekalavya, cut the finger. So my Guru Dakshina to him was, I'm not supposed to do my Niridhyasana of anything which is Vedanta, unless someone asks me. That thing happened in 1987, 85, 86. Since then I have been waiting anxiously. Who's going to ask me? Who is 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 going to ask me? And then she came and asked me, right here. And she said something about Dayananda Saraswati. She said, he's my guru also. And we started talking.
Yeah.
And she said, will you teach me the Viveka
I
Chudamani?
said, will you please teach me? I've been wanting this for years, Viveka Chudamani.
So what I'm trying to get here is Daivanugraha. If Daivanugraha is not there, it does not happen. And this thing tells us that Atma is the Omkara. That is Atma. Omkaram Param Brahma. And Vasanas is a particular thing which a lot of people do not understand. The Vasanas are something which you have accumulated in the birth after, birth after. And in that births, when you get that Vasanas, there is past Vasanas, which are from the past, Prarabdha Pala. And there are the mind itself creates Vasanas for us. And then you got inclinations. When you are born, there are certain inclinations coming. They push you towards a particular direction. And the way you can look at it is this, that if I was born in the house which I was born, then if I have come in a Hindu house, then my inclination is going to be a Hindu. But if I was born 2 houses down, I would have been a Muslim. My inclination would be a Muslim. If we agree that they also have a life and death procedure there, but Quran doesn't say that. Once they're gone, they're gone. Don't worry about it. No, they will get heaven and hell. You know, if they go to heaven, they get what, so many virgins or something like that. Oh my God, that is dangerous. So those are all the things which we bring with us. And this line here, above that is something which we do not know what they are, how they came, why they are with us. And this are the unreal which we have got. This is called para, this is called apara. Para apara jnana is what we need to get. That is real and unreal. Atma, anatma. So everything has a positive and a negative. And you got to see which is going to be there. And when you are in the apara sense, then we have got three things which have got intellect. This intellect, there is an inherent intellect which is coming from someplace else. And the logic of somewhere else intellect coming is the logic of Shankaracharya himself. Because Adi Shankaracharya, when he was 5 years old, wanted to get sannyasa. And when he got sannyasa, he was going away from his mother's place. I'm not telling the other stories associated with that. But when he was going away from his mother's place, he went to one old lady's house and said, please give me bhiksha. And the old lady had only one small
Amla.
Amla.
Gooseberry.
Amla.
Gooseberry.
And gooseberry. And then she gave that to him. He saw that, and he said, it's all you got. She says, I only have that thing, my dear. I can't give you anything more than that. Then he got very angry. And immediately, at 5 years, he composed the Kanakadhara Stotra. And the Kanakadhara Stotra, the minute he started reciting the Kanakadhara Stotra, composing and reciting it, suddenly from the heaven there was gold coins falling in that hut. And she had as much money as she wanted. How can that happen? Is it real? There can be a logic to it. And for a very long time I didn't know that logic, how that happened. When all those things there, I said, hey, mambo jumbo, I don't know. You know, someone comes and says all these things. So there are certain things which are there, which are in our intellect, which we do not know. Then we got the acquired intellect. That is our mother and others telling Krishna is the God. And now we got problems here. Krishna is the God till I talk to my mother. Then I get married. Okay? And when I get married, I do not know whom I am getting married, because of that, in the olden days it is going to be a arranged marriages. But nowadays it is, they can go and get someone. And they go get someone. The wife comes in. So now, this intellect has suddenly decided it's going to be two intellects. And when it becomes two intellects, and if that intellect says, that intellect acquired Christianity, this intellect acquired Islam, wow, that will be Jerusalem, their house. So, there is a conflict coming. And so these are all unreal. And when you come and you see all these things put together, is the mind, or mind here. And so this mind has to be properly, logically understood and logically taken care of. Then we have got a body. Body has 10 vikrutas in it. The 5 senses and the 5 subsenses. Because I got eye is a sense organ. But what it sees is something else, that's dangerous. This eye by itself is good. And so sometimes I sometimes feel it is better to be Surdas. So both of them are God. He doesn't see anyone. I only see Rama. So a great man, he could sing songs, he could do everything. So every 5 senses have their own things: seeing, hearing, tasting, moving, feeling. And so all those things put together, they perceive, feeler, and thinker. We are a perceiver, we are a feeler, and we are a thinker. All the three are put together. That is a human being. So we are a unique unreality, emotionally unstable, with thoughts. Phenomenal amount of thoughts keep coming into it. They are bombarding us all the time. And how to get out of it comes in the later part of this book. But that's what it is. So I'm very happy that you people have been blessed by God to come here. And you. Okay, that's for the last week, that's what we talked about. Okay. Today we're going to go. This class is a very tough class. This one is a real tough one for me, especially in the Kartika Masa. Kartika Masam is a very ritualistic kind of a entity. Okay. This is a Venaturamani in your book. If you see, he has set different chapters with what each set of verses for each thing. And this one is called Miseries of the Unspiritual Man. So, unspiritual man and miseries. That means he doesn't have moksha anywhere there, but he has got everything other than moksha. Okay. Labdhya kadanchit narajanma durlabham tatrapi punsvam srutiparadarsana yahtu atma muktau na ateta mudhadi sahi atmaha swam vinihanti hat grha. Eteta means one, a person. Mudhadi is a fool. Durlabham, it is difficult and it is rare. Narajanma, human. Even the previous thing he talked about Narajanma. Getting Narajanma is a great thing. Labdhya, home. Kadanchet, somehow. Tatrapi punsvam, in a firm mindset. So the way it goes is Yateta modhadi durlabham narajanma labhya kadachit tatrapi punstvam. The mindset. So he keeps talking about a mindset. And Purushatvam is nothing else but a mindset. Because in the olden days, when the caveman was there, the Purusha had to go out and fight and get a meat and do the hunting and everything and then come back home. And so that's why he always says Purushatvam in this thing. And it's basically the mindset. That's a very firm mindset and a goal-oriented mindset. That's what it means. Srutipara darsana, that means knowledge of scriptures. Atma muktau. Atma muktau is self-realization. Na eteta, some doesn't try. When he does not try any of those things, then it is considered atmaha. Atmaha is suicide. Self-suicide. Self-suicide is the worst thing which anyone can do. And he compares it to a self-suicide, someone committing suicide. Someone who does not have that mukti marga, or a path which leads to mukti and which leads to liberation, when he does not get that liberation. Swam Vihananti Asahara. He has to dissolve into the unreal. That means he is just becoming completely unreal. So here, this is the misery which every human being goes through, because we prioritize on the three and we forget about moksha. We say we got it. What did we get? Human birth. How did we get human birth? Guru Kripa? No. Because I don't know whether my father went to any guru or my mother went to any guru, I don't know. Dad and mom? Yeah. If dad and mom have come, there is a lot of gene pool coming in. So I'm picking up past vasanas and inclinations and other things which I don't want. All those things are coming into me. And then, nowadays, we don't even have to have a father and mother, because they can get a baby in a test tube. Artificial insemination is there. But what is the purpose of our life? Have we ever considered questioning ourselves as to what is our purpose of our life? For a very long time, I did not consider what the purpose of my life was. I thought what my father told me, I did it. He said, you got to become an engineer, I became an engineer. He told my mom, he's your life insurance policy. So I brought her along with me, kept her with me at 50. When I was 55 years old, she passed away. What is the purpose of human life? There is a seed. Say for example, I take a seed, mango seed. It has a purpose. It looks as though it has a better purpose than me. Because a mango seed, I go and plant it in some place. It's going to germinate, it's going to get roots, then it's going to grow, and it's going to have branches, it's going to have all kinds of leaves, and it has lots of mangoes. And it is service to all the whole humanity. All the people take the mangoes and they export it to America. They get more money. And then we take the mango, eat it, and it's sweet, good. And then it makes a whole lot of seeds. And again that seed comes down. So what is the purpose of a mango tree? Service to some other people. Does a mango tree have a mind? It is just giving, 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 and it doesn't have anything. That is a seed. And when I compare it to the seeds of purpose, then as a human being, what purpose have I got? Really. I was born, I went to college, I got engineering degree, got married, created 2 kids, one of each kind. Thank God I didn't know the third kind. There's a third kind also floating around. So, but one of each kind. And then the purpose of the whole of my life, especially the Desi mindset. What is the Desi mindset? Can anyone tell me? Desi mindset.
Get married, have kids.
Build a house.
See,
You know? And so all the Desi mindset is go, get money, get money, let's make it, millions, 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 millions. That is the mindset. Is that the purpose of the human life? So, looking forward, we have to understand that there got to be some kind of a inclination for finding out what moksha is and how we are going to get it. In that respect, the previous thing which was saying that you have to have Bhagavan's Kripa, each and every one of you have it. That's why you're sitting here. And you're trying to understand what is being told in Viveka Chudamani. We want to be liberated. And when we say we want to be liberated, what are we trying to get liberated from? I want to get liberated from this unreality completely, so that I might be able to go and join moksha. The moksha is going to Om. Om is considered to be God. God or whatever you want to call it, energy. Aksharam paramam brahma, jyoti rupam sanatanam, gunatitam nirakaram, svechamayam anantakam. That is I'm not telling it. It was told by Brihaspati. Brihaspati is Indra's guru. Indra was crazy enough to create a fight with Krishna. And when he created the fight for Krishna, which is yesterday, all the Gopikas didn't know what to do, and Indra made all his comforts, put rain and this and storms and everything. And so Krishna lifted the Govardhan and all the Gopikas went underneath. And then after 6 days that stopped, they all came out, that came down. And before, at the 6th day, Brihaspati goes and tells Indra, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm trying to tell him I'm better than him, I'm powerful than him." Where is he? In what mode is he? Is he in Kama, Krodha, Moha mode? Or is he in Moksha mode? Kama, Krodha, Moha mode. So, Brihaspati told him, Aksharam Paramam Brahma. Omkaram is the Aksharam. Aksharam Paramam Brahma. Jyoti Rupam, like a lamp, light. Jyoti Rupam Sanatana. There is from ever, forever. Gunatitam, there is no guna, no attribute, nothing. You can't say this is what is God, this is what He is, this is what. Nirakaram, there is no akaram. Swechamaya. He's free. Nothing binding him. Anantakam. He is infinite. We are bound. What is binding us? All this. We set desires. Desire is something, you run after it, it runs away from you. That is the human mindset. The human mindset is full of desires. And what does the desires do? They set a set of likes and dislikes. You go someplace to a restaurant, you get something, you order, the desire is, I want to have basmati today. In Madras they used to do very good basmati. And you go to Madurai mess, I want basmati. So, oh, we got the best basmati, sir, we'll bring it. He brings the basmati, puts it there. My wife is there, she gets one, I get one. I like basmati. She likes basmati too. We both like basmati. Everything is good. I cut it, I put it into my mouth. I taste it. She cuts it, she puts it into her mouth, she tastes it. Babu, this basandi is no good. I said, huh? What happened? It's not as good as what we had there. Comparison. And then, so everything, anything we do, we compare. And even when it comes to our own kids, their marriages, their husbands, and the things, because you say, oh, my son-in-law is better than your son-in-law. Is it really? They're two different entities. Both of them have nothing in common. This guy is a doctor, that guy is a taxi driver. Where is the connection between the two of them? So likes and dislikes come and they put problems for us. And then we have got this curtailed existence which comes into our misery. Curtailed existence is, you can say that if you are in Alabama and if you are in India and you go to a particular subdivision, the fellow says you are not allowed here. So what do you mean I am not allowed here? Yeah, you are not allowed here. No Negroes, go. So we have got curtailed existence. Who created the curtailed existence? Did we? No. The whole unreality of this whole thing does those things. Then we want choices. Even choices becomes very difficult. We have an artificial dependence on entitlements. Entitlements. My son thinks that I got to make sure that I put enough money in the bank separately so that when he gets married, I got to do all the things which are supposed to be done. Daughters much more than sons. For them it is their birthright. You have to put those things there and then do their weddings. So these entitlements come in. Is there really a sense to that entitlement? Let me give you a very nice small example, personal examples. I'm giving personal examples off and on. We went, my daughter's wedding. My son-in-law and my daughter, they decided they were going to go and get the priest for themselves. So they went and got a priest for themselves. So the priest came. And you know, there is a big problem. You will understand what I'm telling. There is a big problem with this and with this. There are two different sets of thought processes. And so they went and got this guy to come and perform their wedding. And we are neither this nor this. We only put one. So we have no problem. No issues with either this or either that. But now here, my son-in-law came and said, I like that priest and we want that priest. So the choice was either I say, no, you're not going to have that priest. What is that?
Ego.
Ego. Ahankara. The minute that ahankara comes in me and I say, no, you're not going to have it there, then I got to do something else. So in our case, my wife and I, we both try to go through things like Nakula Sahadev. Nakula and Sahadev, they were phenomenal people. Nakula used to be wielding his sword, and he could wield his sword so well that a raindrop could not fall on his head. That is the greatness of them, one of them. And in that way we said, Don't worry about it. We will have this guy go on that side and this guy come on our side. And so we had two priests. That was the first wedding in North American continent with two priests. And then both of them, they were happy. And actually, no, going back, because I'm trying to get you into the next stanza. Actually, if someone understands the marriage ceremony, rituals, and what they are saying the boy is Narayana. And the girl is Gauri. Okay? But they say when it comes to getting married to Narayana, she converts herself into Mahalakshmi. And as Mahalakshmi, she goes and prays to Gauri. Then she comes to the marriage pandal as Mahalakshmi, and we give her away as our Lakshmi to you. And that's the set. Under those circumstances, it should be someone with a Namam doing that one. He has to be a Vaishnava doing that side. And so there was no problem with that. So these are all things which come. So basically, desire. There's so many desires. My husband has to be this way. My wife has to be this way. My son has to be that way. My house has to be this way. All desires. So there's desire. Lack of desire is the key for moksha. And it's very difficult, it's not easy. Liberation from our own conditioning is, and anticipation of happiness is also a misery. I want to be happy. And now, today, I'm going to be very happy if I go home and sleep immediately at 10 o'clock and get up tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. And you turn around and say, that's not possible. Immediately it gives me a problem. And so, anticipation of happiness is also a big problem. How do we do all these things? Recalibrate your mind. Recalibrate your mind and intellect. And if we want to quote from Upanishads and Vedas, Paravasam sarvam dukkhasya karanam. Paravasam is not even with you. It is something beyond you which is there. Paravasam, sarvam, everything. Everything is not in your control. You are not in my control. No one is in my control. Paravasam, sarvam, dukkhasya karana. They are all the reason for your melancholy. Atmavasam, sarvam, sukhasya karana. Atma. Once you realize you are Atma, once you realize your inner self, once you start negating all these things and coming out here and saying, I'm going to go and see my Atma. My Atma is here. This is my Atma. When you recognize Atma, Anatma, Viveka. Anatma is not realizing this Atma is itself God. That means God is in you. If God is in you, what are you worried about? You must be the most courageous person. Even for Arjuna, he had to have a brother-in-law who has to be God. Otherwise, he didn't have guts. That's the fact. Read Mahabharata in a different way, you'll find that Arjuna, he was saying, he was a darpook. इतना डरता था, लड़ना नहीं चाहता था. उसको क्या करेंगे? So that's a very important thing which we got to understand. That's what Shankaracharya keeps telling people. At 5 he was not scared of anything. He said, I'm going to sannyasa, I'm going walking away from the house. At 5 years old, who will walk away from the house? So, source of our misery, who pauses, reevaluates, that gentleman becomes a seeker. What is he seeking? He's seeking moksha. So he's going to try to find a equanimous mindset. Once that equanimous mindset is born, a seeker is born. To initiate that seeker, seekerhood is the purpose of Viveka. Viveka means knowledge. And why didn't he call this book Ekalavya? Ekalavya is one of those gold things with all the coins in it. You know, we all in the south they all wear that thing, and all adorned necklaces. But he called it Chudamani. The reason why he called it Chudamani is Chuda. Chuda means it is the mind, the head at the top of the mind. So it is all the mindset which becomes. So let's quickly go to the next one. Yathat kanopi mudhatma yastu swardhe karmadhyati durlabham manusha dehyam prasya tatrapi paurusha. More than this, one who is foolish and who is trying to self-immolation, self-created miseries. Durlabham manusham deham prapya tatra api paurusham. Here, Adi Shankaracharya is raising an objection, a smart one. One has to understand the purpose of human excursion. We want to take our life as an excursion. We are here as an excursion trying to absorb knowledge. What is it meant for? We have to understand our own true nature. Once you understand our own true nature, how do you understand true nature? And how do you even try to understand knowledge? How do we get knowledge? Say for example, you get a complete 100% scholarship from IIT in India. Is a kid. Full scholarship. He doesn't have to pay a cent. And he's put in that IIT. And you are asking him to go ahead, learn. IIT is supposed to be full of knowledge. Engineering knowledge, chemistry knowledge, this knowledge, that knowledge. Full scholarship. If the student doesn't apply himself, he doesn't read, and he doesn't want to graduate out of that particular university, what will IIT do? IIT can't do anything. So the seeker has to be born from within us. Once the seeker is born from within us, then we would be able to train our mind. If our mind is not trained, nurtured to understand the logic associated with the mind's intellectual interconnections, then he or she is called a Mudhamati. He says in Bhajagovindam, 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 Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Dukrin Karane. Dukrin Karane, what is Dukrin Karane? It's a logical understanding. 1 plus 1 is 2, 4 plus 4 is 8. This is all logical understanding. And all this logical understanding and reading all these things, and am I telling you that I can recite Lalita Sahasranamam from the first to the last poem. Not only that, I can also tell you the poem which you can say once, which will give you all the punya of doing it, the whole thing. Or I can turn around and tell you that in Vishnu Sahasranamam, when it says Bhishma Uvacha, Devadevam Jagatprabham, from there are about 12 items, 12 stanzas. If you read those 12 stanzas, that is complete Vishnu Sahasranamam. It's said in a precise way. And lot of us, we don't even read those things to understand. We don't understand the meaning of it. The first class I was telling them that in Lalita Sahasranamam, I told them that there is 40. From 40 onwards, there is Bhavani Bhavana Gamya Bhavaranya Kutarika Bhadrapriya Bhadramurti Bhakta Saubhagyadayini. And then it starts telling you what God is. Nirlepa, Nirmala, Nitya, Nirakara, Nirakula, Nirguna, Nishkala, Shanta, Nishkama, Nirupaplava, Nityamukta, Nirvikara, Nishprapancha, Nirasraya, Nityasuddha, Nityabuddha, Nirvadya, Nirantara, Nishkarana, Nishkalanka, Nirupadhir, Nirishwara, Niraga, Ragamadhani, Nirmala, Madanasini, Nischinta, Nirhankara, Nirmoha, Mohanasini, Nirmama, Mamtanti, Nishpapa, Parnasini. When you say, Madanasini, we read it, the first thing we read this, we put it on the side, get up there, stand up and say, you do not know what you are talking about. I do this Lalita Sahasranamam every day. From morning 6 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock, I am always thinking about Lalita and I do this Sahasranama. Now what? Nirmala, she says, be without ego. Getting the ego under control is difficult. See, I'm sorry, it is Kartika Masa. So many rituals are going on. I'm not saying rituals are wrong. Rituals are right. They're right. Please do it right. Please read Lalita Sahasranamam, but understand every line which is there. What it says. Okay, because most of the people, when I tell people, sometimes I get this crazy urge to tell someone something. I go and tell someone, I suddenly find someone and I say, hey, you know something, I will tell you something. All you have to do is Ganga, Bhavani, Gayatri, Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Raja, Rajeshwari, Bala, Shyamala, Lalita Dasa, and it will give you the total punya of Lalita Sahasranamam. So please don't have to do the Lalita Sahasranamam. And she said to me, where did you come from? What are you talking? Do you you understand what you're talking? Has he ever read the Falastuti of Srila Sahasranama? Is Lalitambika going to come and embrace him? He said, oh my son, you are great. I'm going to give you all the connection. Let's be logical. She is neither going to embrace him, nor he is going to leave him out or throw him out. He won't do anything. He will say, Mudhamate, Bhaja Govindam, Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Dukrin Karane. There is a fellow who was dying. He was on the dying bed. When he was on the dying bed, that fellow was a rotten individual. All through his life he was rotten. And one of the guys said, that fellow is dying. Oh my God, he is going to go to hell. And all the people around him, about 100 people, all of them agreed that that fellow was going to go to hell. And then one stupid guy like me, Bodhamati, he came and said, I got an idea. So you said, oh, you got an idea? What is your idea? He said, people say that when a gentleman is in the last breath and when he is going to die, if he says the word Narayana, he will go to heaven. He will get moksha. Okay. And so they went and they took him up and they wanted him to tell him Narayana. And that fellow was such a Mudhamati, he did not want to tell the 4 syllables. And he said Nara. Then Nara means one of the strings which you can pull out of the banyan tree. No, what?
Jute.
Jute string. And so, he, even in the last minute, that Modamati could not utter the word Narayana, and he has to say Nara. And you take the other side of it. The other side of the thing is so great. When Markandeya went, when he saw the Yama's people coming to take his life away, he said, I am going to go and fall at the feet of Shiva. So he ran there and just put his 2 hands around the Sivalinga and he just stayed there 100% and said, Shiva, you have to take care of me. You are in me and I am in you. You have to take care of me. Aham Brahmosmi. Come on. And then he hugged it and just sit there. What did Shiva do? He showed up there. So, somewhere along the line, if you do it with understanding, whatever ritual you are doing, you do it with understanding. The ritual should be for understanding. Ritual is not for the party which is after. How much खाना लगा दिए, बहुत अच्छा खाना है, थोड़े देर और ठहरी है, पूजा हो जाएगी, खाना खाएंगे. Doesn't work. That is the key. And he is trying to get all those things out into the breath. Next to what? Oh God. we'll close it up right now. Vadantu sastrani yajantu devan kurvantu karyani bhajantu devata atmaika bodhena vina vimukti na siddhyati brahma shantatarepi. Sastrani vadanti. Texts tell us devan yajantu, yajnas to devatas. We do a lot of yajnas to devatas, okay? And karmani kurvantu, we do a lot of karma, which is good karmas. We do a lot of good karmas. Karmani kurvantu and devata bhajantu. We do bhajans and others to devatas. And that's all very good. Na siddhyati vimukti. It does not entail vimukti. If you just go ahead and do those things, it gives you certain amount of punya, but it's not going to give you moksha. she won't show up there. And vimukti, vina, without. What is the thing which is very important? Atmaika bodhena, brahmaika jnanam. The knowledge that your Atma is part of this Om. When your Atma becomes part of this Om, what happens? You get the same things which I told you in that thing where Indra was told by Brahaspati. Aksharam paramam brahma jyoti rupam sanatanam gunatitam. You are going to be above gunas. Nirakaram, you are going to be beyond shapes and other things. You will be Anantakam, you will be everywhere, just like him. So first you got to understand he is everywhere, and he is in you, and he is in your heart, in yourself as Om. And that's the thing which this particular thing it says. Emphasis is given here for Brahma Jnana. And so it is the Wi-Fi utilization. So just all these rituals which you do is like your Wi-Fi and your computer. And if you don't do the computer thing properly, you can understand a lot in the computer, but it's not going to take you anywhere. If you use the computer right way, you will get Vedanta. If you do it the wrong way, you will get the triplex rated crazy stuff in it. And so it is yourself who has to do all those things, and there's nothing else we can do. And so understand, contemplate, understand within. And service, hidden agenda. Service to others is the hidden agenda. This 7th we will start next week. Today we will start it. Today we are doing 2 days worth.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shantamanta Datta Swasti.
Sarve bhavantu sukhinaः, sarve santu nirāmaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam namaya.